Hello, friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel where we look forward to connect with all of you and listen to your queries, questions, doubts, and clarifications, and look forward to assist you with giving you the best understanding or response to those queries as much as possible. So today, again, as usual, every Saturday when we connect together, we look forward to give you a window, a space where you can connect with me, ask your questions, ask your doubts, or just have a conversation with me, which helps you understand better about testing. Certainly, many other questions what people will be asking could be a good knowledge for all of us. And we just don't answer questions related to certification, but we also look forward to answer a lot of generic and other quite, knowledgeable questions, which certainly brings a lot of value and understanding to everyone's knowledge. So, welcome aboard and greetings for the day. Once again, every Saturday as we connect. So, today is Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. is reserved for you. And we look forward to listen to our audience, listen to our followers, and see what best we can do beyond our tutorials and help you learn and understand more about the software testing concepts. So before we start getting pings and start looking forward to answer them, the small update what we have is, of course, we are working on ISTQB Foundation 4.0. I'm getting a lot of comments asking people that, hey, is this playlist complete? Is this playlist going to be completed soon? Can I have all the videos in one day so that I can prepare well? I'm so sorry to say, it's just that like not all the countries have really rolled out 4.0. So I'm actually ahead of time and started building up the tutorials in advance. But especially if you're in India, you have to follow 3.1. And I've been really answering a lot of people over this week and last week also that many people are asking me, is it applicable in India in January 2024? Answer is no. 3.1 is valid for India and neighboring countries and many other countries. So you must go and check with your country member board. Have they allowed 4.0 already for the examination, or many countries have not yet, and there are many countries who have also started 4.0. So you have to check with your respective country member board that whether 4.0 is available for the examination or not. And that's the reason I have both the playlists available on my channel so that those who are referring to 3.1 can refer that and 4.0 can wait for some time. I do understand there are many people who are already writing on 4.0, but trust me, there are no much differences. So even if you're going for 3.1 to prepare for 4.0, you will be okay to answer the examination. Okay. So many people have reported me back saying that 3.1 was enough to succeed in 4.0 also, because there are just new additions, and I think those new additions have been already covered. So 3.1 and 4.0 blend would be okay. So right now we are in chapter 3, and chapter 3 we have discussed almost half the topics. Beyond that, so we will be closing 3.2 next week, that is Monday or Tuesday, and then we will be getting into chapter 4. So I'm targeting February mid or before that to complete the entire syllabus. Okay, so if you, in case you're writing any specific certification, please just be following according to that. Okay, meanwhile, the first one is coming in from Sintu. Sintu says, sir, can I write ISTQB Indian board center based exam from UAE? Why not? You can always write subjected that you have an address here in India. Okay. However, today, recently, they have also announced, I'm not sure how far that is applicable. They have also announced that people can take from anywhere in the world. So all you have to do is kind of register. So while registering, if it does not allow you to accept your UAE address, then give them some Indian address. Okay. Indian address would probably where your family or someone will be staying in India. So you can use that address as well. They don't send you any written communication over the address. It's just that where do you belong? That's it. Okay. So you can use an Indian address for registration if they want you. Otherwise, UAE address should also be accepted. Okay. And you can write it online sitting right from UAE. So that's all what you would need to get your certification done from India sitting in UAE. Okay. So I hope that answers your questions, Into. And let me know if you have any other questions regarding the examination. Colin, good morning. Good morning, Colin. How are you doing today? Good to see you. It's always usual to find some known names on our chat. Sintu says, but I can't change the country while I'm registering. Uh, you can't change the country to what? India. So it is disabled. So no problem. That's fine. So if you're using UAE, that means they're accepting UAE address now. Okay. So you can even give your UAE address, and that should be okay. You can write it from there as well. So not to worry about it. Okay. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay. I'm still here. So we're targeting 4.0 to be completed by somewhere in the mid of February, and then we will be picking up the sample questions of 4.0 and building up together to understand better. So that's where it will be very, very helpful for people to even get guidance. See, again, I do understand people are a little crazy that if we can get all the content today because they're writing probably next week or something. And for me, as an individual, even if I try living my entire day as a week off and trying to prepare all the tutorials, that's somewhere highly impossible, right? Because even if I start my day early in the morning and start recording the videos, I would need half a day to record and other half a day to, you know, edit. Edit in the sense, of course, we have a clip. There are a lot of background noises which comes in between when I'm recording, and I have to, restart sometime. And you would see I have very limited, cuts in my recording because I believe in delivering it in one go. And that's where you would see there are very rarely, cutouts happening between the video. So I literally take very limited space, but adding those like slides on the screen while I'm talking, so those editing part takes a little time. And even if I do that, uploading certainly takes a little while because we have to do a configuration, title, everything. We have to tag, and so many things we have to do. So I think I would be maximum able to upload only 5 to 6 videos or maximum 10 in a day. So, and that doesn't make sense. Every single hour, if you get a notification, you will be like, okay, there are 35,000 people who are not interested in that unwanted notifications. Trust me. So we have to deal with many other things, not just one or two requests. So we just take a call on that, like how exactly can this be made? And at the end of the day, the last clause is, I do not have the entire day. So that's the most important point, that even if I try, I cannot just uncommit someone and say that, sorry, I'm not available today. So those commitments are already full on my calendar. So that's getting a day is very difficult. Anyways, so that's something which you may have to be patient with me, and we will prepare. But trust me, you have a solution. Whatever you have in 4.0, you can prepare from that, and rest you can go from 3.1 because we are in a stage where rest of the tutorial, that is 4, 5, 6, are exactly the same from 3.1. Okay, so no confusions at all. If you think you are writing on 4.0, you can watch 4.0 till wherever you have right now. That is chapter 3, and rest is as same as 3.1. Okay, so you can just go for that. Okay, meanwhile, Uwais Akhtar says, sir, I write a test yesterday, but the question isn't 4.0. I got 24 marks. How can I give my second attempt? So I'm sorry to hear that, Akhtar, that you could not got through just by 2 marks. That's very close. And I didn't really get that. What do you mean by questions isn't 4.0? So was that 3.1 you were writing on? I think, I don't know which country you are in right now. So if you were writing on 3.1, then please prepare for 3.1. And I don't know where exactly the gap was. So try to identify the gap and go through that playlist accordingly. And second important thing, the second attempt, you will find it in your account itself. So when you registered for the examination, you would have created an account. Yeah. Okay. So you should have got a credential. When you log in, you will find a second attempt button there itself, but you will have a cooling period. Okay. You will have a cooling period of probably like, I think 5 days or something, or 15 days sometime, depending on board. So you will, when you log in, you would see that there is a cooling period of 10 days or 15 days, and then only you can reschedule your examination. Okay. Because they want you to prepare. They don't want you to write the next day. So there will be some cooling period. Just get that from your account, and then you can re-register. Okay, and you say question is coming from 3.1. That's really strange. Which board you are taking it from? Which country? That means they have not yet rolled out 4.0. Akhtar says the fees is same or not. again, depends on your board. Most of the time, maximum countries, they charge you 50% of the first attempt. Okay, India, fantastic, Akhtar. So India, you will have a cooling period of 15 days. Second, the version is 3.1, of course. I don't know why you were referring 4.0, because in India, I've been telling in all my discussions here and so many comments that 4.0 is going to be rolled out in May 2024. Okay, so it's not in 4.0. In fact, the website says so. So please cross check, team, on the website when you're registering. They will give you 3.1. Okay, so it's not 4.0 in India still. It's 3.1 till May 2024. Okay, please, if you are communicating to anyone else, please guide them accordingly. You can be my hands to help everyone. So let them know in India it is 3.1 till May 2024. And the fees will be half the cost, Akhtar. That is around 2.5 something will be costing you for reattempt. It's half the cost. So you don't have to pay full amount. Okay. All right. That's good to share. Steffi, sorry, I missed you out because I was just talking to Akhtar. So continued with that. When the exam is selected offline, the country drop-down remains disabled. Can you tell me how to select offline exam center? So again, offline, you will be probably only limited to the country which you're applying from. So of course, that should remain disabled because you cannot go outside a country and take the examination. So I think that should be okay. I don't know what's wrong with that part of the registration. And second, examination center has nothing to do with the country, right? So you're already inside the country, your country is disabled, that's fine. You need to pick up the city which you are in or the province, and then you will have to select the selected or available test centers. Among that, which one is closest, you can go and pick up one of that, right? So how does a country, kind of like disturbs you or blocks you? Please let me know so that I can help you. I want to write Indian Testing Board CDFL from UAE. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So, okay. UAE got a board last year. I understand that. So UAE got a board last year. Okay, so they didn't have a board before that. So it was all applicable. I just realized I forgot something. So you will not be allowed to write in India anymore. Okay, the reason is you will be, but if you visit istqb.in, then it should pick up your address. Oh, it's picking up from VPN. Got it. So you will have to ask somebody on behalf of you to enroll from India. The IP address picks it up. You know what? When you have a body in your own country, why would they let the business go to another country, right? So that's the point. So they will disable the field and they will not let you select India as the country because you're writing in UAE and we have a board. Why don't you write with us? But of course, India is cheaper and certainly it saves a lot of your money. So you can ask somebody else to reserve or do the registration on behalf of you with your details in India so that you can just use those credentials and write the examination. Okay, so you can always do that. Anyhow, that should be on me. I will also offline check with the board that what is the hack, what is the other workaround, how people from outside can take the examination if they want. And center certainly will not be able to select a country is UAE and it is blocked, right? You cannot select a center in India. So yeah, I see this is one of the option, but I'll still check with them. Please drop me an offline comment on this particular live session. Okay, so I'm not sure if you get a comment option when it comes to live. So after the live, just pick up any video blindly, drop me a comment, I'll get a notification and will reply back to you. Okay, asking the same question. I'll help you with that. I'll check with the body tomorrow. And yeah, I know tomorrow is Sunday, but I can reach anyone anytime. So I'll check with them and let you know that what is the alternative. Sure. And that should solve Steffi and Sintu as well. I think two people are right here from UAE joining us and asking the same question. Okay. I want to write Indian Testing Board. Okay. But the exam could be attempted online internationally. Yes, of course. Exam can be attempted anywhere from anywhere. So that's fine. All right, team. Meanwhile, those who are here, please do not forget to drop a thumbs up. It helps YouTube algorithm understand that we are doing something good for the people, and they spread the video to the rest of the community, and it helps them reach out to the right platform where they can come and ask their questions. New to the channel, please do not forget to subscribe because certainly a subscription can help reach out to the better audience and guide them as well. However, we are doing the world's best playlist and best tutorial today on ISTQB, but just because it doesn't have a better reach, because we have limited subscribers, YouTube does not promote it. So just because of the platform, we need your assistance, we need your support. Drop a thumbs up and do subscribe the channel before you leave. Okay, and that certainly helps us a lot and reaches out to our entire community and help them to save some good amount of money to learn things without going to a training. Okay, however, we are giving them the best quality, right? So it's just like the entire training is coming online without any cost. So we want everyone to get benefited, and your support could be very helpful. Anyways, so I'm pretty much done with all the okay, Akhtar says I took an offline exam, brother, yesterday. Yeah, that's fine, but you would have registered online, right? Because even to do offline examination, you have to go to istkb.in and you have to enroll yourself, right? You have to get a registration number. So using that credential, you can log in again and re-enroll after the cooling period ends. That is 15 days. So yeah, that's the whole process, Akhtar. That should help you. Okay, so yeah, the 16-minute passed and we are all caught up with all the messages on the screen. We are waiting for more. If you got a question, do not hesitate. All I'm here is to respond to you, assist you, guide you with your preparation on the examination. Or if in case you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. I'm here to happy and hin and hearty available to respond to you. So feel free, drop me your comments, whatever you may have, and I'm looking forward to those. All right. So also, meanwhile, I'll be kind of like taking some time out. However, I don't want to commit anything particularly, but I'll be doing more videos on technical talks, which is beyond the certification tutorials, and certainly helping people learn more about testing. That what's the trends in the market? How does that even help any organization or any individual to grow up as a test engineer? And what are those ethical things what we should take into account? So there are a lot of discussion. I have a dedicated playlist called as technical talks on testing. You must go and watch them for sure, and that certainly guides you well about testing. Colin says, when comparing BVA to EP, what cases would you choose EP, or is it always what is that, an add-on to other testing? Okay, see, first of all, regarding the examination, if we talk about in examination, they will specify that what to use, whether EP or BVA. Okay. Second important thing is if you generally want to know how does it help, right? Then you really need to just have an understanding that EP is more of like creating the classifications, and when it comes to textual things, like for example, I want to book a ticket, but it is possible only on weekday. Then weekday is just Monday to Friday. So I don't have to test each and every day. That is 7 days. I just have to create two partitions, Monday to Friday and one Saturday and Sunday. And I have to take one test from each because all will behave similar. But when it comes to BVA, it's more of like numeric scenarios. When the numbers are involved, I take BVA into consideration. Whereas EP is more of like textual things like a leave can be approved only by manager and above. So manager and above will be one class and manager below will be one class. So I don't need BVA there. I cannot even do BVA. What is boundary value for you, right? So in such cases, we use equivalence partition, and for boundary value, we use number or numbers-based ranges. We use the boundary value analysis. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Let me know, Colin, if you have anything else to talk about. Sure, you're welcome. Yeah, go ahead, team. If you got a question, do not hesitate. All I'm here is to listen to you, guide you, assist you, respond to your queries, whatever you may have, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. All I need in return is just drop a thumbs up, subscribe the channel so that we can reach our biggest community of QA and help them as well. Okay, so that's where I need your help. That's it. because we are doing something for a cause, and that cause is like to give the best quality training to people without any kind of cost involved. Like even not even in Udemy, right? YouTube is free of cost for everyone, and people can just learn. So in that context, we just want to give that quality training to everyone without any kind of cost involved. So we would certainly need the audience support in order to make this happen, and that helps in turn to every individual. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm waiting for some more comments. Go ahead, team. We just 20 minutes past our live session, and we have around 40 minutes to go from here. And we just want to make sure that we make most out of this opportunity when you connect live with me, and we can certainly help you learn better about testing and help you succeed in the examinations too. Even I'm organizing or looking forward to conduct some good classroom sessions, and even the public sessions of my own, because most of the time throughout the year I'll be busy with the corporate trainings of the different companies. But I think this year I'm trying to do some public sessions also, which would include people randomly from the gray market. And as many people have requested me that we want to learn from you, we want to go with you to learn about the certification. So I think I'll try having some bandwidth for conducting those public sessions, and that should be easy doable. So I'll find out and figure out some time that helps people to join. So I'm not sure about the dates yet. Literally, I have to figure out how to get some dates for organizing and scheduling some of these sessions. But yeah, I can't promise you something right away, but you will have something great coming up for sure. And meanwhile, how to know when the sessions are happening? Please follow me or connect with me on LinkedIn, because I generally post all my latest and greatest on LinkedIn itself, and you will certainly find all the upcoming batches details on LinkedIn, or subscribe to our channel. I also post parallelly here, so you will just get to know from here. Okay, so if in case you're joining in there, you can go ahead. So Colin says, so in my job, I test POS systems, okay, and have cards that can be used contactless chips, swipe, or manually enter. Okay, I have multiple cards with the same services. That would be a use case testing, correct? Yes, exactly. You will be changing the test data. The use case will be how exactly the user is trying to use the system to make the payment. And that is contactless, chip, or manually, which is other options, right? So immediate use cases for that. Of course, the variation will be at only one place. That is the first step. That is whether you're tapping, you are swiping, you are inserting, and then the step remains the same. Enter the amount and do that and all. But if you are into that, so you would understand better that when it comes to tap, it is pre-fed. The steps are before you tap, but when you insert, the steps are after that. So, the use cases will be written for it, and then you can go for it. So you can go with use case testing, and that would help you to reduce your test cases. Okay? Yeah, that's right. You are right. Absolutely. And with multiple card, it's just the change of the data. The use case remains the same. You will change the card and try out. Okay? And again, I think there will be very limited count of test cases, even in invalid. Number one is you will try with the valid set of card types like Visa, Master, Maestro, and so on. And then for the invalid, you would try just one random card. Could be like Subway cards or something. And yeah, that's it. I think if you take one invalid, that's enough. And then probably like cancellation of different points. Like at any point of time during the transaction, if you press the cancel button, the transaction should get canceled. So you will have to try that out. Yeah. So that should be okay. Go ahead, team. We are all here for you. All we need is if you have a question, do not hesitate to ask. We don't judge you based on your questions. All we do is answer your question. So do not hesitate. Be happy. Just drop your query, whatsoever you may have, and I'll be just picking up and talking about it. It's a long weekend in India. Okay, by the way, that's the reason we don't have a big audience. It's just because it's a long weekend in India and people are happily roaming around in a vacation mode. Akhtar says, "Sir, do questions come chapter wise in the exam or are they mixed?" No, they're mixed. Anyhow, you have taken the examination now, Akhtar, so you will have idea already, right? But yeah, they are mixed. They don't come chapter wise, like first two questions from chapter one, then chapter two, then chapter three. You can even get the first question from last chapter. Okay, so it will be in any order. It will not be sequential. So it's more of like when it comes to ISTQB certification, it's all about that whole thing together. Okay, it's not about like we want to go sequential or chapter wise answer the questions. They want you to learn the whole context of testing as one thing, right? So that's the reason they blend or mix all the questions from different chapter and then ask you the examination questions, because they don't want you to be independent of each chapter. They want you to just answer things as you know everything about testing. Okay, so that's the reason behind it. Colin says, "Why is it long weekend? What y'all celebrating?" Okay, so the long weekend is because we have a festival here in India, and it's been almost celebrated in every part of the country. However, we are different community throughout the nation, right? From different zones like north, east, and all. But this day, that is Monday. Monday is a festival which is celebrated throughout the country and with different names. So some people prefer calling it as Pongal, then you call Makar Sankranti. Yeah, you can just find out like what's special about 15th January and 14th January, and they will just, the Google will tell you the names better. I know probably you cannot remember the names. So it's Pongal or Makar Sankranti and, other things which are in different zone of the country. And that's why it is a holiday. Okay. So as it is a holiday, then you get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And the youth, certainly the young people, they don't really worry about the festivals because their parents are taking care of it. They just go on a vacation. So that's how it works. So that's the reason it's a holiday. So it's more of like the beginning of the new year as per Indian calendar. Okay, so it's the beginning of the new year as per the Indian calendar, and that's how we are just celebrating a New Year day. Okay, so it's more of like New Year starting for Indian from that Monday. Okay, so that's what the celebration is all about, Colin. What else, team? If you got something, please ask. I'm happy to answer. Yeah, thank you so much, Colin. We're gonna have one for sure. However, I'm working. Sometimes it just becomes very tricky to say that it's a holiday for me or not. It might be that the whole nation is having a holiday, but I might be working sometime just because I might be doing a session for Malaysia, or I might be doing a session for Dubai, or I might be doing a session for Singapore, and Singapore doesn't have holiday on Monday. So, many people do get confused that, what, you don't have holiday on Monday? Because, yeah, I'm not on a job role with some company, right? And I'm doing trainings as independent freelancer. And for me, sometimes that just becomes a trouble. And same thing, it just happens other side. For example, other countries, when they have holiday, we have sessions happening here. So people think that, oh, it should be a holiday. So no, it's not that way. So many times it just happens. So I have to travel to Singapore sometime for the trainings. Then it's a holiday in India, but I'm still working. So that's how it goes. So point is, yeah, I'm international. I'm just not localized. I'm just internationalized. So I have to follow all the, every country's calendar just because I might be working for them at any point of time. Akhtar says, "Sir, you are doing great. It's very helpful for us, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Akhtar. Your words mean a lot to me because I think every single learner on this platform, the objective is to certainly, fulfill their, needs and expectation. And as far as I do that, I'm happy. And when I hear these feedbacks, I believe I gain confidence that what I'm doing is absolutely fine. right? Because sometimes until unless people let you know back that how are you doing, you don't have that confidence that are you really doing what people want. But when people comment me back, as you just said, right, we really get that return gift saying that whatever you did is really appreciable by people, and you should continue doing that. So thank you so much for your word, and indeed it means a lot for me. Thank you once again. Colin says, so from 2.3, can you expand on maintenance testing? So when we talk about the maintenance testing, it's more of like post-release maintenance of the product. Of course, it's just as simple as that. Like you're using a app on your cell phone. Let that app be anything: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever. And when these apps are released, of course, the project is over. But continuously, consistently, you keep getting updates, right? That something has been changed, bug fixes, enhancements, and that's what you call it as uh, update. Sorry, the maintenance. The maintenance is all about the product is released, people are using it, but still there are things which are pending, and we are trying to complete them. Right? Sometimes it does happen that the regular set of requirements are not fulfilled just because of some glitch, confusions, contradictions, and later you find solutions to them, which the audience doesn't even know. Same way, there could be known defects which you have not fixed, but internally the organization knows that these are the defects which we should fix. You have masked them for the people, so they are not able to see, but there are defects. So you keep pushing those updates. Now that's what you call it as a maintenance. Maintenance is all about doing enhancement to an existing live application where people are already using it and you are passing on the changes to them. In this case, when you test the system after every single change which you conduct or which you apply, is what you call it as maintenance testing, which in turn is actually regression testing, right? Now, regression testing is all about when I make a change, it does not impact the other part of the application, right? Because change is limited, but the whole other application is still being used by the people. So in that context, maintenance testing is all about regression testing, that any kind of change which you do, be it an update, upgrade, hot fixes, it should just work as it is working. Okay, so maintenance testing is more about making sure the application still works as it is working, even after making the enhancements. So it is kind of like testing the patch before you send it out to an already live product. Just not the patch. Patch, of course, will be tested, but after patching the work, you have to check the whole application is still working fine or not. Regressions, that's the definition of regression, right? There are no side effects introduced due to the change. So you will have to test the whole application also. Okay. Pramod says, hello, sir. How are you? Hi, Pramod. I'm doing absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well as well. And good to see you after a long time. Where have you been? Can you please guide how can we automate YouTube or Facebook? Ah, that's a tricky one. It's more of like a Flash-based application, okay? So Facebook is okay. You can automate that because these are object specific, but YouTube is not object specific. You need a specialized recording tool, which basically records on the flash. So if you remember right from the beginning of the era of YouTube, we used to have a flash player, but now you don't need because it's inbuilt. So flash player basically it's YouTube is more of a video driven thing, right? And here it's more of like you can capture an image, and based on the image you can go ahead with identifying the screens. So of course every single object on YouTube is basically a collection of image. Okay, so we need insights recording mode, where insight objects can be more of like pixel based capturing of the image, and if the image exactly matches the same as recorded or as entered in the insight screenshot, then it will go and replay back. So I'm not sure if you have learned UFT or tools like that, like our Catalan Studio, then you do have insight recording mode there, and they allow you to perform such executions. Okay, so you can record the script and then you can rerun on the applications. But for YouTube, you need this insight. For Facebook, it's okay. Facebook, again, if you have images or videos to deal with, then you need Insight. Okay, so you can figure out more about Insight recording or Insight scripts of automation, and you'll get more details about that. What about Facebook or Instagram to automate as and when we open it refreshes? Exactly. See, they are very, very dynamic, right? So the operations will be more of not related to whether this post was visible when you started Instagram, because very dynamic. You have so many people which you are following. So every single time you open, you will have something new on the screen. So Instagram will not be tested for what post is visible. Instagram will be tested that the first is the username, then you have the picture, and then you have a like button, comment button, and so on. Okay, so that's the point. Okay, so it's more of like the architecture of the card layout. Like what is the heart button, what is the comment button, what is the share button, what are the message option on the top, your profile picture. So those are the things what we will test, not exactly the post. Of course, the post will keep changing every time. So I'm not worried about the post. I'm worried about the layout what we have. Okay, so that's how you will test the Facebook and Instagram on that. But rest, if you're interested about the picture in particular, that if this is the picture of the display profile, then you will need Insight recording to happen in between. Okay. Akhtar says, so if I give my second attempt in 4.0, will this discount still be there or not? First of all, you cannot apply for 4.0 till May 2024. Okay. But if the syllabus changes, you will not be applicable for discount because the version is changing. Okay. So that will be more of like a fresh enrollment. So I think that's the answer. Okay, two things. First of all, 4.0 cannot be applied in India till May 2024. Second, if you in case do that after May, like second attempt, then it will be more of like a new registration. Okay, it will not be as 50% discount. So Pramod says, I've learned Selenium. Kindly guide. I guess you shared some of the tools like UFT or some other tools too. Yeah, of course. UFT is capable of that, and there is Catalan, another tool which can do that. UFT tutorials you can find on my channel, Testing in Nutshell. So I have already, prepared a amazing playlist on my other channel on UFT. That's called as Testing in Nutshell. So you can watch there. And Catalan, I don't have any tutorials yet, so you can just explore online for other channels. Does the cloud is in demand? How can it help for testing or QA community? Please guide. See, cloud certainly is in demand because today most of the organizations and applications are moving to cloud because we want to give people the convenience of accessing their information at any point of time, right? No matter which part of the world they are in, if they're traveling and so on. So, say for example, if I'm talking about things like AWS, Amazon Web Services, I'm talking about Salesforce, I'm talking about SAP. These are all trying to migrate things to cloud. So your legacy products which are inside your premises can now be accessible right on the Salesforce, on the cloud, right? Now the question is, how does it help? For example, if I'm a manager, I'm in one of the store, doing something, then I can go to another store and still log in and get all my access. Just like Facebook and LinkedIn. What is it? It's cloud. It's not a desktop. So you can even go to a cyber cafe, or maybe if you change your laptop or you go to your friend's laptop, you can still log into your LinkedIn account and do everything what you want. That's cloud, right? So you don't really need to worry about that. Are you on your machine? Are you connected to the same server? And then only you can do that. That's your official internal products. But as most of the things are being commercialized, you can just log in and just access it from wherever you want. So that's where the cloud is into. And most of the applications are also getting into the cloud, like internal applications of the companies, so that's what they want to do. So all their legacy product, which were locally installed on the servers, are now being taken to the cloud so that their people can access it from anywhere. Even if they're working from home, they need to access that. So they don't have to come to office, right? And this all changed in last 2 to 3 years. Why? Because of pandemic. During pandemic, everything was shut down and they saw the impact. And they're just getting ready for the next impact. Okay, if tomorrow the same kind of pandemic comes into picture, touch wood, should not happen. But if in case any disastrous things happen like that, epidemic or pandemic, then we can just immediately say people that okay, start working from home without impacting your work. So cloud is in high demand. If you are into cloud development, cloud architect, or cloud testing, you are actually up to date. Okay, or you are kind of like ready for future. So make sure that you start upgrading onto the cloud platforms and look forward to learn more about it. Also, please guide which one should I take cloud certification, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Oracle, or Salesforce Cloud, or SAP. Please guide. I have heard that AWS and Azure has the levels for QA, which does it shoot. See, again, it's up to you where you want to transform yourself. Okay, so Azure, AWS, and Salesforce, they are doing pretty good in the market today. Pretty good in the sense they are somewhere close to each other. I cannot say that the Salesforce has the biggest share in the market, but Salesforce is a very highly growing industry. Where it was 5 years ago and where it is today can be seen very dramatically changing. Okay, and can't be predictable. So Salesforce is something which is very, very stabilized, and most of the companies have chosen to move ahead. But at the same time, AWS is also trying to cover up the gap and make sure that they compete well with the um, Salesforce. And then Microsoft, certainly being the one of the biggest company, cannot be behind. So they are also trying to come up with their Azure, but people are again distributed very well. That means I cannot say that they have more than 33% share each. Okay, so these are the major contributors in the market today. But still, I would say if you really want to ask me, I would suggest you two options. One is, of course, Azure. Why? Because by default, every single organization is having Microsoft installed, right? MS Office or Office 365, and Azure comes handy to that. So people will say, hey, I'm already using Office 365. Can you give me an Azure-based application so that my team can continue using it with all the assets? Fantastic, makes sense, right? Because Microsoft is by default available in any organization. And second, I would say that you can go with Salesforce. Salesforce in an emerging market, and most of the organizations have already taken into account. So please, you can look forward to Salesforce as well. These two options I would suggest you. Rest, you can make a choice where you want to go. Okay, both are okay to succeed in your future. Okay, so it will be good for your future. Any one of these. In fact, I work for Salesforce. I do know Azure, but I don't work on Azure. But I worked many times with different organizations as a consultant for Salesforce. So yeah, I really have a good knowledge on that. So that's where, but still, both are equally, fine. You can pick up anything. Pramod says, what about Docker and Kubernetes? Does it replace the cloud? Please help. What does Docker and Kubernetes have to do with the cloud? They're just a platform like pipeline. So they don't get into this kind of competition at all. See, one is platform and one is how to test that platform or how to check in or how to send things to the platform, right? So it's more Docker and Kubernetes is more of your development process. Okay, it's a process specific thing. Just like CI/CD tools. CI/CD tool is not an end product. It's a kind of like ingredient what you need to make a product, to build the pipelines so that you can check in and trigger the required tests like static analysis, unit testing, integration testing, regression checks, right? Build verification test and all to automate the pipeline so that manual intervention can be reduced. Same way you have Docker and Kubernetes, which does that, part of the process. But cloud is the product, is the end product, which you are customizing to set up. So you can learn other tools, but again, having it as a knowledge is very good, but you're not a DevOps engineer, so you don't really have to worry about it. Okay. Does Jenkins help for QA team? If how so? Yeah, correct. So Jenkins doesn't help the QA team. Of course, you will have to give your test cases, and the DevOps guy can do that for you. So you don't really have to say that I need to become a DevOps engineer in order to check in my own test cases or something. No, not necessary. There is a dedicated team and person doing that. They will coordinate with you, they'll ask you for information, but having a knowledge is always good. When you showcase your profile to anyone, You will not sound just like I'm an ordinary plain QA, right? You can tell them, I have knowledge on Jenkins. I know what is Docker. I know how exactly this is used. I know what is GitHub, right? I know what is Bitbucket. So that's the point. So you will not, you will have something in your resume which attracts the interviewer or the organization. So having a knowledge of it does not harm you, but as a QA, you don't really need to work on it. So it does not add value. But from a profile point of view, yeah, everyone is happy to see a lot of things on your profile, but that's totally different. All right, guys, those who are here, please do not forget to drop a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. All we need is your support to grow in terms of helping the QA community. I alone cannot reach out to 100 million people, but your support can certainly help me to reach out all the people and help them indeed in turn. And for that, the YouTube is a platform, it's a medium. So YouTube should know that the people are loving it, and so that they can go and recommend it further. Okay, so please do so by just dropping a simple click. It does not cost you anything. Pramod says, okay, sir, thank you so much. You're welcome. Welcome, Pramod. I'm happy that you were here. Go ahead, team. We got another 14 minutes to go from here, and I'll be more than happy if I can answer any more questions. If you got any, do not hesitate. Please drop me your question, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Does the Catalan is in demand in the field of QA? Yeah, it's more of like, see, there is a world of commercialized tools and there's a world of open source. Open source works for some different applications, and paid tools work for expensive applications. So depending on the budget, depending on the type of application you're testing, your tools are shortlisted, and both have their own stand. So I would not say that Selenium is the only tool which the future will be, or Catalan or UFT being commercialized. They will not be the future. No, they have their own stand which Selenium cannot do. For example, Selenium cannot test mobile-based applications. Selenium cannot test desktop-based applications. Selenium cannot do insight recording, or recording option does not exist. Don't talk about IDE. IDE is just a foolish thing which is as an introduction to what is Selenium. Okay, it doesn't have the capability of recording what it should be. So Selenium has so many drawbacks just because it is open source, and they cannot just compete with the UFT. UFT is a different tool altogether. Catalan is a different tool altogether. They talk about amazing frameworks, UI, convenience, and testing, whatnot, like API. Now, come on, you cannot talk about Selenium saying API testing, but UFT can, Catalan can, right? So that's the comparison. Now, what your project needs are, depending on that, you go with the tool. At the same time, do you have enough budget? You don't have budget, you have to go with Selenium and do minimal testing. Of course, you have to do some critical tests, then you will go with the budget and do it, right? So the projects will be tested or taken according to that. I will not take a project where it demands functional and API testing and then deal only with Selenium. No, no, no. I will demand that budget from the customer, saying that your product cannot be tested with Selenium, so I will need budget for the automation tool like UFT and Catalan. Okay, so that's where Catalan will also have the same value. But of course, the products, it depends on that. So you can say that, okay, over a period of time, should I stay with Selenium or should I learn some commercial tool? I would say learn the commercial tool. Why? Because you never know when your next opportunity is, or where the next opportunity is. What if the company says, I need someone who is well versed with Catalan? Then you would say, I know only Selenium, and you're stuck, right? So in that context, learn a tool, adding it to your portfolio is always good and preparing you for future. And Catalan is not spelled by C, it's Catalan. Okay, K. For now, okay, but learn the tool. I would suggest please learn the tool. What is API automation? Does the Postman is enough for the automation? Again, to limited extent. Postman is okay because that's a freeware again, right? And it has limited. But today, widely the organizations are depending on Postman. Okay, it's not that they will only go for UFT or Catalan just for doing API testing, right? Because Catalan is for multiple things, not just for API. So mobile application, UI, API, BPF, BF. So we have business pro testing, business process flow testing, and all. So it's a combination of all that. So you need one point solution, then you go for Catalan. Okay. But yeah, so far I would say that currently most of the organizations are going with Postman or SOAP UI for the API automation. So now it is okay. If you know Postman, that's enough. But yeah, if time permits, please learn extra tools, because when you have a big portfolio, like in your resume, when you say in your technical column, technical skills, that I know what is UFT, I know what is Catalan, I know what is Postman, I know what is Selenium, then people think that tomorrow, see, long term goals, right? If I have to hire a candidate for automation testing, I would prefer who knows more. Why? Because today I'm hiring you for Selenium, but down the line, if I have a new project coming up for Catalan, I'll have you already with me. So I don't have to hunt another engineer, right? That's how it makes difference. So you can understand that's the business side of it. That why would they hire you with multiple automation skills is because I can always reuse you for any other project. I don't have to just stick you to one particular project. So given that you have the skills, you can even demand the salary according to that. Like, hey, I'm a tester who knows 4 to 5 different tools. So I would be multitasking for you or multi-project ready for you. You don't have to struggle to get another candidate. So I demand 30% hike. I demand 40% hike. And they will give you. Why? Because they understand what you're talking about. But if you just have one tool in your resume, they will say, hey, what do you have? How should I give you 30% hike? I just need Selenium and you're just aware of Selenium. So no big deal. I can get thousands of people who know Selenium. So make your profile dependent for the company, okay, and make it critical, unique as much as possible. That's the strategy for the day today. Akhtar says, sir, I had given my first attempt offline. Can I give my second attempt online? Yes, you can always do that. You can always choose. What is Appium? How it is different from Catalan? Okay, Appium is a different framework altogether, which is used for mobile testing, and Catalan is more of like functional. So Appium is a framework for Selenium, kind of like jar files. You can integrate it with VS Code or what do you call it as IntelliJ and things like Selenium. Not Selenium, sorry, Eclipse. Whenever I talk about Selenium, I think of Eclipse. So Eclipse, IntelliJ, all the IDE, whatever you use, you can integrate your Appium framework to do mobile testing. So Appium is specially for app. It's double P, okay? Appium, like Selenium. So it is Appium is a framework. It's basically an open source library which allows you to perform mobile application testing. And of course, it is different from Catalan. It's just limited to mobile application. Doesn't do functional regression and all that. His team, we got final few minutes. Got a question? Drop it on the chat. I'll pick it up from there and talk about it. Yep. Catalan helps in automating the mobile functional testing also. Great team, we got final few minutes to go from the live session. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Yeah, that's true. Catalan can help you end to end, just like UFT. It's a combination of everything. Thank you, Colin, for your feedback. That's why we connect every Saturday so that we can bring a bundle of questions together and certainly can share a lot of knowledge with everyone here. Indeed, as you can see, minimal, many few, very few people ask questions, but there are audience who just come here to listen to the conversation to get and grab as much knowledge as possible. So, yeah, I always recommend people that they should always join my live session because it just gives them a great knowledge because people come with different questions here and they can always listen to them. So yeah, it certainly gives you a great knowledge. So thank you so much for your feedback. All right, so I think we are all caught up. So it should be a good time for us stopping our session for today. However, I know we got another 3 to 4 minutes, but if we have a question, we'll answer them. But yeah, Pramod is here. So can we import the files in Selenium or automating test cases? I guess no. For example, uploading resumes or photos, does Selenium help it, sir? Uploading, and not exactly because it will need to deal with the desktop applications. Okay, so Selenium does not interact with desktop application. So File Explorer, to upload it, you have to browse the file and select the file, right? And that would not happen. So in that case, it will just restrict you. And Catalan is licensed, of course. Catalan and UFT are commercial tools and they are licensed. But you can always start with the free part of it, like trial versions of it, and that would be okay to get started. All right, then. So that's all from this live session, team. Thank you so much for joining in. It was great interacting with all of you and sharing some of my knowledge. And certainly, we look forward to guide you well, give you more information every Saturday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., and through our tutorials to make sure that you have the great knowledge and understanding of what is testing all about. So always be here. We will be really happy to see you every time we connect, and it gives me a great inspiration. Of course, I'm very selfish when I ask you to join again, is because that gives me the inspiration that people are really looking forward to have a good discussion and interact in order to grab some good knowledge. So thank you so much for being here. And what is that? Pramod says you are the best instructor in the whole globe for QB community. So thank you so much. That's a really great title, and I'm really happy that I could get such titles from the people about my work, and it's really, really, very humble to accept. So thank you so much, Pramod. I'm really happy to hear such things, but we will do continuously good work for all of you. So that's all from this particular live session, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. And should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the content. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning. Take care, see you, stay safe, and we'll catch up next weekend again. Bye bye.